Hello, my darlings, my dears. We are going to be drawing for Ed Emberley's Halloween book once again. Today it is the spooky house. Ooh, the spooky house. This is one of my favorite lessons that we do. It's a lot of detail, so I'm going to use my fine line marker. Let me look to be sure that that shows up well. Yeah, it does. Okay. All right. So we start with the main room of the house, and we put a little roof on there. And some tall windows. The door. Another window. And a second level here. We'll put the roof on there. This house is what you call gingerbread. It's when they put all this fancy decoration on it. Doesn't really have a purpose other than to look pretty. But that's enough purpose for me. I like pretty things. I think it'd be cool to live in one of those old houses like they have down in Willow Glen in San Jose. The houses that are around 100 years old or older. I stayed in a hotel one time in Milan, Italy. Il Principe. The Prince. And it had decorations like these on all the doors and windows. So I just think of that place when we do this lesson. I'm not worried about doing my lines perfectly straight. Again, we use rat lines, R-A-T. Rat lines stands for right about there. Don't have to be perfect as long as they're right about there. And in particular, these lines don't have to be perfect because I'm drawing a rickety old house. So if they're a little squiggly, that's okay. There we go. Now I put the roof up here, and that's one of the things I like, is he doesn't make you build the house the way you would build a real house. He puts the roof up and then he puts up the sides. That makes it easier to draw symmetrical sides. Very clever. And now we'll turn these windows into actual windows. Looks like they're partially up. We'll add a shutter up here. I didn't do it exactly the way he did it in the book. My shutter's too big for this side of the house. Let's see if I can get this right. So I'm just going to erase that part of the house and put my shutter right over it. It's my picture. I'll do what I want. It's my picture and I'll draw what I want to, draw what I want to, draw what I want to. You would draw two if it happened to you. Do, 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 do. There we go. Yay, I'm on to page 2. It's already looking like a house, isn't it? All right, now we're going to put the steps. We'll have some steps to the stoop. Now soon, my darlings, we're going to learn how to draw things in 3 dimensions. Right now we're drawing these 2-dimensional pictures. So instead of drawing the steps at an oblique angle, we will draw them looking straight at them. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, yes. There's the base of the house. It's got a solid foundation. That's a good thing. You need those, especially in this area. Some windows down here that look into the basement, which is nice. It lets some air into the basement. And we'll just draw some horizontal lines here, because this is a brick foundation. And we just stagger the lines to make it look like a pile of bricks. Now this is how you always build when you build a brick house. You don't stack the bricks in a line on top of each other. If you were to pile bricks one on top of another like this, the problem with that is that this brick is sitting right on this one, and this one. It's only one brick supporting each brick. But if you stagger them, you've got 2 bricks supporting this brick. We'll turn the other one sideways. Now we've got 3 bricks supporting these 2 bricks. The 2 bricks support 3. Instead of having 1 brick supporting each of the brick, you've got 2 or 3 bricks supporting the bricks, and that makes for a much stronger construction. That's why you always stagger the bricks that way. And it makes them easy to draw, so we benefit as well. All right, so now we're going to add some more gingerbread effects with U's and V's. A U and a V, a U and a V, a U and a V, U, V, U, V, V. There we go. Nice. And up on top of the house, we will add a couple of chimneys. Your house has probably got a chimney, fireplace. Most of the houses in this area do. We don't use the fireplaces much anymore because they are terrible for the air quality. When I was a kid, we used to burn fire, and it was much more common to use a fireplace to actually heat your house. We didn't have central air or gas heating. Nowadays, people just have fires because it looks pretty. Maybe it smells good. Reminds them of camping, reminds them of when they were kids. But in general, it is just not good to burn wood. we go. And down here, I'll just put a couple of eyes looking out and fill in the basement. Doot, doot. Couple of eyes. Looks like he has 3 eyes over here. Ooh, 1, 2, 3. Creepy. And you can have anybody you want standing in the door. And you can have maybe a cat sitting over here. The cat starts with a triangle. Add a nice big circle for a head and give him big eyes. Triangle ears. Have his tail all frayed out like he's scared or angry. And you give him some whiskers. You got your cat. We can add a bat over here. You got the letter M and then some big old wings. Now his bat is not anatomically correct because he puts little hands up here and they're kind of cute, so I go ahead and use the little hands. But what you actually see at the top of a bat's wing is just a claw, sort of a thumbnail, because a bat's wings are its hands. It has the same bones in the wings that we have in our hands, except they're very long and they have skin stretched in between, just like we have a little bit of skin stretched between our fingers. They just have skin that goes all the way to the ends of their fingers. And then they can use them as wings to fly. Birds' wings are also hands. What else we got here? Well, we could add a little cemetery over here with some tombstones. And you can add a pumpkin here. Pumpkin shape. Instead of having a light background, we can have the pumpkin be white sitting on a black background. Just to mix it up a little bit. I really like the way his eyes came out. I'm going to try that again. I can get them more triangular. I wonder if I'm going to carve pumpkins this year. I like to carve pumpkins. but I know that no children are coming to my door this year, so I might carve a few just for the fun of it. I have some videos up of pumpkins I've carved in the past. I use the technique where you peel the pumpkin and then carve into it sculpt faces. I think it's a really cool effect. You see this on the Food Channel with the Halloween Wars, stuff like that. That's where I got the idea. And we'll put a couple of stars in the sky, I suppose. Mr. Moon. And you can just keep going. There's no reason to stop at any point. Let's put a giant spider over here. Spiders are arachnids. They have 8 legs. That's how you know they're not insects. Insects have 6 legs. We'll give him big jaws. Big jaws. Oh no. Yes, yes, well, we could keep going, and I encourage you to keep going. Add skeletons and devils and all kinds of stuff that we've been drawing already. Now, one of the things I really like about the spooky house is that it makes for a great greeting card. So if you like to make pop-ups, once again, you can use the silver gel pens, or you can use white chalk and make a pop-up version of the spooky house with a little graveyard in front. I've got a skeleton standing there, spooky tree, there's a bat, there's an owl in the tree. And this is the simplest kind of pop-up, just a regular V. You've probably made them like this before. But if you take the time to make a cool picture, that makes for a really awesome pop-up. Another thing I like to do is use the colored pencils or the construction paper crayons. I draw pictures that I can use to decorate the house. There's a Wolfman or Chewbacca, I'm not sure. There's a sprite or a ghost or a wood nymph. There's a devil. Skeleton. Pumpkin. Here's one with glitter crayons. They work really well. Of course, you can just draw with your crayons, and this is ink that I went back in with crayon to color it in. But lots of stuff that you could draw to decorate your house based on the Ed Emberley stuff, or you can pull out your favorite monster comic books and copy the pictures. And if you do, please send me a picture. I'm always so happy when you send a picture along. And I'll talk to you next week. Hey, shout out to my friend Spencer. Thanks for sending your picture. Everyone else, send me your pictures.